Plaqueboymax, I'm sorry for the entirety of since when you left phase. I always thought, man, that's the stupidest decision ever. Why are you doing that? It doesn't make sense. Like, I get maybe he's trying to do his own stuff, but even that, it doesn't even look like really is working. Like, he's not even streaming as much as he did. Blah 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 blah. But obviously, with the recent controversy and everything he revealed that I had no idea about, um, I realized that he did leave for a reason, and I just wanted to, I don't think he's gonna see this, but I just wanted to say what I thought about it. I've been on TikTok, YouTube, all that, and I've seen comments like this. I just don't know why these kids think they can have somebody invest their money into their careers and not have to pay it back. Generation is cooked. People like this, first of all, probably don't even watch the streams from Black Boy Max, Lacey, Jason, whoever. And even if they do, because if they did, they probably just joined within the last couple of months. Because if you were with FaZe since, like, especially I was with Max before he joined FaZe, or not with Max, I was watching. Sorry, um, got a little parasocial there. Um, but in the beginning, FaZe literally told them, "Hey, you don't like." Before they would pay the people in FaZe, and ultimately the people would be really lazy and not care about anything and blah blah blah, and that didn't work for FaZe, right? And that's how it went down. That's how FaZe kind of like became irrelevant. So with this new phase that they were planning, they were like, you know what? Instead of, you know what, we're not gonna pay you, but you guys got to use our name and you got to promote our name. Because FaZe, people don't realize FaZe, they got shirts, they got hats, they got socks, they got brand deals, they got game deals, they got food. I think there's literally like FaZe nuggets. I'm pretty sure I saw once, literally like in, it wasn't even that, it was like in a stream, like FaZe food brand. Yeah, like literally there's like buffalo chicken Totitos, all of that. I don't think the Freezy is a part of that, might be a part of phase two, but they literally got this too. Um and that's how they make their money. So they're like, oh, these streamers are gonna blow up, we already know. So then promoting it, it's basically free. It's like getting a free brand deal with them. If you think about it, FaZe is literally a brand deal with the streamers, and that's what people don't realize. That's why they gave them a house. That's why they gave them, except they're not paying them. It's a brand deal without the pay, or it's a brand deal but the pay includes housing and PCs and cameras and all of this connections and all of this stuff. So it's branding without the pay, and that's one thing people don't realize. That's what FaZe signed into. Obviously, nobody showed us the contract. Why would they? It's legally they probably can't even do that. But they told us that they didn't have to pay them anything. Not a percentage was going to them, and they would get a lot. They would get like when they first started, they were sold a dream. FaZe believed in these streamers enough to where they're not expecting any money back. They're going to actually give them not money but money in PCs, houses, all that, to promote their brand. As long as they're to promote their brand, as long as they promote their brand and say they're in FaZe and say FaZe. Like literally when you think of FaZe, like if I saw a FaZe shirt in the store before this, I would probably buy it. Because I'm like, oh shoot, this Ronaldo, this Lacey, this, well, not Max anymore, but this Silky, this, I'd be like, oh, that's fire. Um, and that was the deal. But again, people like this who say, I just don't know why these kids think they can have some money invest. Originally in the contract, they said, we are not going to take a percentage. Maybe it didn't say that this would be permanent. But it's honestly crazy to think anybody would stay in the situation when they were originally not having to pay any of their income to FaZe. They were actually promised that they wouldn't have to do this, and in return, their popularity and rising popularity and promoting their name would be enough as pay. And that is what it is. Tell me, if I say, as long as you promote, I don't know, say you have a, say I have a brand, right? And say I have a brand and I tell you, right, hey, go around, I'll literally give you the brand stuff. I'll give you like cameras and all this stuff to promote said brand. I know you're going to be popular, and they did become popular. I know you're going to be popular. I know you're going to be this. So ultimately, this is going to be like, you're going to give me, I'm not going to pay you, and you're not going to pay me, but your payment to me is for this stuff is essentially going to be how famous you are and how much you're getting the name out to people, because brand deals are very important. Spreading the name of your brand is probably the most important thing you can do. It doesn't matter if it's the best thing in the world. If people don't know about it and they don't have like, it takes a lot for someone, well, not necessarily, but for something as obscure as FaZe, right? Like with a logo, right? It's kind of like fashion, this food, it's all this. For someone to buy something obscure like this, there has to be something good associated. It's psychologically. Someone will buy something if there's something really good associated with it, So that was the deal, and people don't realize this, and people are thinking purely that, oh yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, it makes sense. Honestly, FaZe giving them all this equipment and not and these streamers not paying FaZe is ridiculous to me. I honestly don't see, unless, because FaZe, when they started with the streamers, FaZe was failing. So I genuinely don't even understand how they thought it was a good idea. They were originally paying the streamers, and the streamers were becoming lazy. So instead of paying them in money, they were going to pay them in equipment for streaming. And while that's a good idea, the core of giving the streamer something without taking anything is the main problem that they had. And people, and now it makes it seem like, from all the clips, it makes it seem like that FaZe Banks was literally one of the only ones who agreed with this. Like, honestly, I'm very, although we obviously all the FaZe members have a percentage of the company, although now I don't even know where the percentages are going. I wonder if they even, who do they sell them to? Maybe Rage, maybe I'd assume it's Rage or Rug, but Rage or Rug didn't leave, by the way, which is I'll get into later, or I don't want to get into anything before I hear Rage, and because I know Rage is gonna stream, and I know FaZe Rug probably isn't gonna say anything, to be honest, but it makes sense when you first look at it, but the problem is the company started off failing. If this was a company who was doing well on their own and they just wanted to boost, so they said, "Hey, we have some extra money. You know what? Let's invest it into this streaming thing." That's one thing. But FaZe was failing already, and it was Banks who was the only, it seems like now, the only one who really wanted it, because as soon as FaZe, or allegedly Banks, when he left, obviously he sold his stuff. He sold his he sold his percentage of the company, which, by the way, he talking about how he broke right now, flipping cap. He sold that 4 or 5 months ago. People didn't even know that FaZe was gonna people didn't even know the members of FaZe were gonna leave. There's like nobody predicted that, at least not publicly. So him selling that, whatever it was worth then, like at the all-time high, like FaZe was really high 4 months ago. Like there was a lot, like the business was booming. So him selling that then is definitely worth a lot. And the only reason now he's coming out with it is, it's just weird. It's just weird. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm yapping, but